Hi, my name is Zachary, and today we're going to make enchilada pie. It's a delicious meal that everybody enjoys. And in a minute, Anna's going to be here, and she's going to show you how to make guacamole, which is a perfect side dish to enchilada pie, and also just a great dish for chips. So now, let's grab our ingredients.
Now it's time for our ingredients. 2 packages of meat, 1 onion, a green pepper, jalapeno, cilantro, garlic, taco seasoning, enchilada sauce, refried beans, corn chips, tortillas.
Now that we have our ingredients, we just have to prep them for the skillet.
When chopping the vegetables for this recipe, it's pretty easy. Just chop it up nice and fine, because that way you won't have any large chunks of onions or peppers or anything floating around there with your meat. So just make sure you chop it up fine. One thing to remember also is that when you're cutting up the jalapenos, make sure that you seed it if you don't want the heat, because that's where most of the heat comes from. But you can always use culantro. I find that's a really good alternative. I like to use the garlic press because to me it keeps it all nice and even. You don't have to worry about getting on your hands. It works out really well.
Alright, now that the vegetables are done, we're going to go ahead and put our meat into the skillet, which is already preheated. That way we can start browning first before we put in the vegetables. So we're going to put it in right now.
You can feel free to use any kind of meats for this. You can use chicken, turkey, pork, beef. We're going to use beef on this one, but if you want to use a healthier option, you can always use chicken or ground turkey. That always works too.
Now we're going to put in the vegetables now that the meat is browning, and we're going to mix it all in nice and good. We're just going to stir this a little bit. We want to kind of let it sit some, but we are going to want to stir it. Don't put any seasonings in it, because what we're going to do is we're going to put like the packet seasoning in there. That way to give it that nice enchilada flavor. So my aunt actually is the one who made this dish, and I'm sure she's not going to be too happy when she sees the things I added, but she's probably going to do them anyways, because they taste good. Alright, let's let this cook, and then once it's done cooking, the meat's all brown and the vegetables are all tender, then we're going to prepare for the pie. Now that we have all of our stuff here to assemble it, all we have to do is just put it together, kind of like Legos. You just put the pieces that match.
Now it's time to assemble the pie. It's really simple. First, we're going to put a little bit of sauce in order to keep the tortilla moist and to also keep it from sticking to the pan. Next, we're going to put the tortilla in with some refried beans on there. If you want a healthier option, well, you can just omit the refried beans. Now it's time for the liberal application of cheese, because let's face it, cheese is absolutely delicious. And scoop on some of your choice meat. For us, is going to be the beef. Pour on some enchilada sauce. It's really important to keep everything nice and juicy. Now you just need to repeat it for one more layer. Now that we have that layer done, we're going to top it with meat, cheese, sauce, and to keep it healthy, we're going to put on some corn chips. Now we're going to put the pies in the oven for 20 minutes at 350.
Now all's left is the guacamole. So I think, Anna, did you want to come over and do the guacamole?
Of course I do. Guacamole is an easy side dish for our enchilada pie, so let's get started.
Alright.
To assemble our guacamole, we will need 1 avocado. And the first thing we want to do with the avocado is take the seed out and remove the flesh from the skin and put it into a bowl. The second thing we're going to need is 1 lime cut into quarters. And the lime juice is extremely important to this recipe in order to keep the avocado from browning. Cut into quarters, it's even easier. The third thing we're going to need is a half of a minced onion, 1 clove of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of minced cilantro, salt and pepper to taste, and hot sauce at your preference. In this case, we used sriracha because that's all Zach had. It's also extremely important to taste your final product for seasoning. In this case, we needed more lime juice.
Our enchilada pies are done, so now we just have to move them up here, let them cool for just a minute so that they can set, and we can get all of our items ready to eat. Because everyone loves some guacamole, some sour cream on the enchilada pie.
These sure do smell good. Can't wait for you to enjoy this meal too.
Alright.
Man, that is delicious. It's a really easy, enjoyable recipe to make for you and your friends. So go home and try it.
Bon appetit!